The train station was eerily quiet. It was nearly midnight, and the usual hustle and bustle of Central Station had faded to a strange stillness that pressed down on Leo Grant's shoulders. He stood alone on the platform, his breath misting in the crisp night air, as he glanced at the flickering lights above. Every sound, each distant clank of metal, each hollow echo of his footsteps, seemed to amplify in the empty space. Central Station was rarely empty, even at night, and the silence felt unnatural, as though he had stepped out of time. Leo shifted his weight, fingers gripping his notebook and camera tightly. He'd always been drawn to stories that defied explanation, tales that lurked in the shadowy corners of the city. And tonight, his curiosity had led him here, to board the midnight train. There were too many stories about it. Rumors of passengers who vanished without a trace, tales of ghostly figures who only appeared in the dead of night, and whispers that this train was no ordinary means of transport, but something far darker. Local papers had dismissed these stories as urban legends, but Leo had a hunch, one he couldn't shake. Suddenly, the ground beneath his feet began to tremble. A low rumble echoed through the station, growing louder as headlights appeared in the dark tunnel. The midnight train approached, its worn metal exterior coming into view under the dim lights. It wasn't sleek or modern like the other trains that passed through Central Station. Instead, it looked weathered, its metal exterior scratched and dented, the paint peeling in places, as though it had seen too many years, or perhaps too many worlds. As the train slowed to a stop, the doors slid open with a shuddering hiss. Leo felt a strange chill creep up his spine, an instinctual warning that told him to turn back. But he ignored it, stepping forward and onto the train. The doors closed behind him with a final, resounding clang, and he was plunged into a dimly lit carriage that reeked of stale air and old upholstery. He moved further inside, his eyes adjusting to the sparse, flickering lights. The seats were worn, the fabric fraying at the edges, and a thin layer of dust covered every surface. The only other passenger was a man sitting at the far end of the car, half hidden in shadows. Leo couldn't make out his face, but something about the man's presence unsettled him. Still, Leo took a seat near the center of the carriage, trying to steady his racing heart. The train jolted forward, lurching into motion with a slow, deliberate pace that didn't match the urgency Leo felt. He glanced out the window, expecting to see the familiar cityscape rushing by. Instead, he saw darkness, a thick, impenetrable void that seemed to press against the glass, swallowing any trace of the outside world. Leo's breath hitched as he peered into the void beyond the window. There were no streetlights, no passing buildings, only an endless black that seemed to ripple and pulse, as though alive. The train wasn't moving through the city anymore. It was journeying through something else entirely. A faint creaking broke his thoughts. He turned and realized the man sitting at the far end of the car was watching him. In the dim light, Leo could barely make out his features, but he saw enough to catch the glint of sharp eyes beneath a wide-brimmed hat. The man's clothes looked outdated, as though he'd stepped out of another time, faded and worn, yet eerily pristine. "Is this your first time on the midnight train?" the man asked, his voice low and tinged with an odd, unsettling warmth. Leo forced a smile, trying to appear calm. "Yeah, actually, I'm here to, investigate the stories." The man let out a quiet chuckle, a sound that echoed too loudly in the empty carriage. "Stories, you say? Well, there's truth in them, if you know where to look." Leo straightened, intrigued despite the strange aura around his fellow passenger. "Are you saying there's more to this train than just rumors?" The man leaned forward slightly, his eyes glinting with an intensity that made Leo's skin prickle. "The midnight train doesn't travel through places the way other trains do. It travels through moments, through memories, through spaces in between." He paused, his gaze never leaving Leo's. "It takes you to the places you don't expect, and sometimes the places you fear the most." A shiver ran down Leo's spine, but he forced himself to stay composed. "And where does it go tonight?" The man's smile faded, replaced by a shadow of something darker. "Wherever it is you need to be, he murmured, as though the answer should have been obvious. Leo's pulse quickened. The man's words were cryptic, but they struck a nerve, a sense of unease that gnawed at the edges of his mind. He turned back to the window, watching as the darkness outside seemed to deepen, thickening like ink spreading across paper. Then, without warning, a flicker of light appeared in the distance. It grew closer, revealing the outline of a building. A small, decrepit station, half covered in ivy and shadow. Leo leaned forward, squinting to make out the details. It looked familiar, but he couldn't quite place it. The train slowed, and with a jolt, it came to a stop in front of the deserted station. The doors slid open, but no one boarded, and no announcements echoed through the carriage. The silence was absolute, save for the faint hum of the train's engine. Leo glanced around, uncertain. He felt a strange urge to step off the train, to explore the darkened platform, as if something was calling to him from beyond the doors. But then he saw it. Just as Leo leaned forward, he saw a faint movement on the platform. It was subtle, a shifting of shadows, a flicker in the dim light that shouldn't have been there. He squinted, focusing on the shape as it took form. There, standing under the cracked archway of the station, was a figure dressed in black, their face obscured by the brim of a hat. The figure remained still, as if waiting for something, and Leo felt his heart pound harder with each passing second. Against his better judgment, he rose from his seat, moving closer to the door. He wasn't sure why he felt compelled to approach, but the figure seemed oddly familiar, like a memory slipping just out of reach. The man from the end of the carriage spoke up, breaking the silence. "It's not wise to get off the train," he said, his tone a mix of warning and sympathy. Leo turned, frowning. "Why not? Do you know who that is?" The man's eyes were distant, his face expressionless. "Sometimes, the midnight train brings us face to face with the past, or with shadows we'd rather forget." Leo glanced back at the figure, a growing sense of dread curling in his stomach. But something inside him refused to back down. "I have to know," he said, more to himself than anyone else. He turned to step off the train, ignoring the man's murmured warning. As his foot touched the platform, a chill washed over him, colder than the midnight air. The station was silent, save for the faint hiss of the train behind him. He looked around, but the figure had vanished, leaving only the echo of his own footsteps on the weathered boards. But then a voice, soft, familiar, and filled with sorrow, called his name. "Lao!" He froze, his blood running cold. He knew that voice. He hadn't heard it in years, but he'd never forget it. It was the voice of his sister, Clara. Leo's breath hitched as he scanned the platform, searching for the source of the voice. But the platform remained empty, bathed in shadows and silence. His mind raced. Clara had been gone for nearly a decade. She'd disappeared when they were young, lost in a tragic accident that had haunted his family ever since. No one ever found her, and Leo had grown up with the guilt of her absence, plagued by the memory of her laughter, the sound of her voice, and the last time he'd seen her. "Leo!" The voice came again, closer this time, a whisper barely louder than a breath. He turned, feeling his chest tighten as a figure emerged from the shadows at the far end of the platform. She stepped forward, her features slowly coming into focus under the dim light. A girl with familiar brown curls, wearing the same red dress Clara had worn that last day. Leo's legs trembled, his mind struggling to make sense of what he was seeing. She looked just as she had that day, as though time had left her untouched. Her expression was calm, almost serene, but her eyes held a sorrow he couldn't bear to see. "Clara," he whispered, his voice breaking. "Is it really you?" She nodded, her gaze never leaving his. "I waited for you, Leo. I waited, but you never came." Leo felt a crushing weight settle over him, guilt and sadness intertwining with a sense of dread. "I tried, Clara. I never stopped looking for you. I thought you were gone." She shook her head slowly, a tear slipping down her cheek. "I was here, waiting, trapped. But now you're here. You found me." Leo took a step closer, reaching out his hand as though to touch her, but his fingers met only empty air. Clara's figure seemed to waver, flickering like a shadow cast by candlelight. "Please don't leave me," he whispered, his heart breaking. She smiled, a sad, wistful expression. "I never left, Leo. I was just somewhere you couldn't follow. But it's time to let go. Let me go." A sob escaped him, his hand trembling as he pulled it back. Deep down, he understood what she was saying, but the pain of it felt unbearable. "Clara, I'm so sorry." She stepped back, her figure fading into the shadows. "I know, Leo. I know. But this isn't where you belong. Go back. Live for me." And then, with a final smile, she was gone, leaving only silence and a chill that seeped into his bones. The train's doors hissed open, and Leo turned to find the man from the carriage standing just inside, watching him with a look of understanding. "It's time to go," the man said softly. Leo nodded, feeling an overwhelming sense of loss as he stepped back onto the train. The doors closed behind him, and the train began to move, pulling away from the deserted station. He took one last look through the window, watching the dark platform fade into the distance until it disappeared altogether. As the train moved forward, he felt a strange peace settle over him. The shadows outside the window began to recede, replaced by the faint glow of city lights. The midnight train, it seemed, had brought him not to another world, but to the one place he needed to confront most: his own past and the memory of his sister. When the train arrived back at Central Station, Leo stepped off, the weight in his chest lighter than it had been in years. And though he would forever carry the memory of that night, he knew now that he could move forward, just as Clara had wanted.